Just ring. Yes, 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 yes. Welcome, welcome here to another edition, another stream here on the Chaos Rain show. I am Chaos Rain here. I see you, Queens of Virtue. Welcome. Thank you, Queen. I appreciate it. I appreciate all your help, all your support, and your dedication as a moderator here on the Chaos Rain show. I always give praise and thanks to you because without your assistance it's very hard to keep what's going on in the chat room. I appreciate Queen's Virtue, and I'm hoping that you continue to do content as well on your own YouTube channel. As you know, I'm a brother. I will assist you in any way possible, but only when you take things seriously, Queen Virtue. All right, Chanel. But nonetheless, thank you for being in the building to moderate. Turn this off. All right. Welcome, everybody. The links to follow Chaos Rain are the following. You can follow me on Twitter at Chaos Rain 7. You can add me as a friend on Facebook, Eric Rain on Facebook. Follow me on Rumble. I'm going to have another uncut version that was taken away here on social media and YouTube side of things on Rumble. So stay tuned to that. And what else? Join the Discord service of the Chaos Rain Show as well. And last but not least in a second, become a member of the Chaos Rain Show as well. You know the deal. 2 tiers of membership. You pick what is rightfully or what you think is suitable. As you know, the higher tier has more of the real raunchy content. That's a little bit more. If we don't watch that, you're going to be the top tier. I will not move that from the lower tier. I think certain tiers that, when you know was good, trust me, it was good. That's why I put that in the top tier. That's why we have 2 tiers on membership personally. And it keeps things simple. I was thinking of putting it all in 1 tier, but I said, nah, let me split it. Because certain people, depending how much they like and respect the Chaos Rain Show, they will probably pay a little more for those type of content, most likely. And that, as far as I'm going to push it. Besides, everybody's that, like I said, please contribute and donate to the Chaos Rain Show. Only with your help, it will make whatever I do more than what it is right now. What's good, Mike TV? How you doing, sir? And a little positive vibe. So, like I said, I do put in the time doing this. With your support will make this go even further. And all contributions will be, appreciated here in the Chaos Rain Show. You can pick between the Super Chat or the Cash App, which I have here with my Queen Virtue put up here. So please. I think one thing I was thinking, and I put some thought into this, and I think it's the time to do so. As y'all know, there are certain streams of videos, or mostly streams, that I wasn't really about the language personally. I know people that come up here, they say what they want, and it's cool. But I think, like anything, this is a podcast. This is a live show, which I broadcast live a few days a week, as much as I'm able to broadcast, give or take. And I think it is very much, to me, not respectful when, if I had to keep reiterating for a reason, and this is a monetized channel, it would be better to say maybe a form of, slapping wrist will help better to better how we, let's say, conduct how we use our language. Not only on my channel, but anyone else could do it on their channel as well. The point is this thing I'm going to implement for future live streams when I am, as you know, monetized. I will be more stricter of the limiting the curse words here on this channel. As you know, I make a conscious effort to use different words, different verbiage. And really, it helps better the channel when we stop using foul language from using the F word, the S word, the shit word, or maybe ass. I will allow, as long as they don't go too crazy. But all the other more harsh words from shit to F words, I might have to put brakes on that. So one thing I will do to really resolve this, and this will work, if you curse and use the following two words, the shit and the F word, you have to pay a fine of $5 in the bucket. It's like, the curse baller. You know how people put the curse ball, and usually when people use bad words, they gotta throw money in. The first time offense will be $5. No, you can curse. Let me be clear. For everybody that will listen to this when they come across this, let me be clear. I'll be clear. How you doing, Ray? When I'm cursing, there are some points when I do streams where I let it rip and fly. Respectfully. That means you go too crazy, but you know what I mean. The days we're gonna be boys and ladies gonna be ladies, which I prefer ladies don't curse, but it is another story. Those are days when I will express to you if you come in that this is not that show today. We speak out of our mind. But other days when I tell you, say, please watch your language, you know what it is. And when I have to watch the language, you cannot say the F word or the shit word here on this channel. Respectfully. If you do, you must pay a $5 into the curse jar. And to make things even more interesting, if you curse again, it'll be another $5. After the third bad word, to make things much more respectful, and I don't want to keep taking your money, I will tell you, I bid you a good night. I think this will go a long way. This will work. Trust me, this will work, guys. Now, at times, I will be more lenient and see how this goes, but I gotta start tighten up when times I do the streams, and I really try to watch what I'm saying here for better content. Now, not every video I'm going to do is going to be monetized. As I can tell, you go through most of this shit, you won't see it. But at times when I do want monetization, it's for a reason. So don't take this offense. This will help better clarify and better growth of the channel. And really, it's going to better you as a person. If you're a content creator, whatever, it's going to discipline you to limit your language, give or take. So that's rule. So not this time, but moving forward for future live streams, I will let you know that there is I will let you know in advance that watch language, no cursing, any excessive language, and if you do go through those, then I will have to say you're going to have to pay the $5. Now, mind you, if you choose not to pay it for a reason, then yeah, you must step down. I will not keep you on the panel. That's how things will move forward. And these only applies to days when I enforce say no cursing for particular streams. And really, truly, this, like I said, this will build better discipline for yourself. Because, I make conscious effort that I don't really curse often anyway. And it takes a lot for me to curse. As you know, Positive Vibe and Queen Virtue, if you watch me time and time, I rarely curse. So that's the rundown. Let me see make sure everything is sent out. I'm just checking my certain things now. And Queen Virtue, I'm going to give you the links as I'm going through the stream to for you to drop. As I'm going through the content. So, Oh, and like I said, if you do have to put a money of $5 in the cursing bottle, you could choose either a super chat or a Cash App. It doesn't matter. If you give it for super chat, I will take it. That will be accepted. Cash App, I'll accept it. It doesn't matter way how you have to pay up once you start using foul language. So there's not really no limit of how you pay it. You must pay it. If you choose not to, you cannot continue with the dialogue. It is what it is. Okay. And let me see. And mind you, I'm going to probably condense this. So, and I'm going to have to condense it so way people get a clear understanding. You know, so I give a reminder, because reminders will help a long way for a lot of people that's watching the content. Okay, all right. I'm gonna get back to this later. Yeah, I'm gonna get back to this. All right, so let's begin. Oh, if anybody asks, can you curse in the chat room? Obviously Google is monitoring the curse language as well. So when you're on the panels here, that's only when it's enforced. But please be respectful in the chat room, because Google is monitoring, watching your language. Sometimes it will put things in review. So keep in mind. All right, so let's begin. The title for today's stream, what everybody's here witnessing now. And this is the first. Let me see how we do it. It's titled The Crimson versus Hyenas, Volume 1. Yes. Oh, yes. Now, why I will say Volume 1? As you know, The Godfather, Kevin Samuels. Yes. He has had conversation with the lovely ladies for some time now, and he has put them in their place. And no one can really find opposite of women going at women, if that is the case, in regards putting them in their place. Now, how Crimson Cure goes about dealing with the sisters or the sisterhood is a little bit different from KS. And as you know, KS is very brutal in regards to how he has to slap back into reality a lot of black women, as y'all know. He is no stranger of giving actual proper discipline through his words on the airway with the lovely ladies. So as you know, Kendra has decided to open up her platform to the public and have, like anything, disagreements or conversation on certain topics, and people have to sit there, articulate why they disagree or add on to the subject at hand. So as I'm looking through this, and make sure I have the video up. I do have the video up, so I'm ready on the docket. So okay. All right, so we're gonna go through this. Let's see how things go on this one. And I think I'm the only one right now that's doing this, which is fine. And the reason why, a lot of people don't really go through the Crimson Cure's content, besides the moments when she talks about, black women in a very respectful manner, because she is Muslim, mind you. But this particular call in, very intriguing, and I think it's something that I should give my own take on it. So but no further ado, guys, let us watch for our first time and view it for ourselves. And let me see if I can find a banner. We'll do fair use for this one. All right, so let's begin and enjoy. Oh, wrong one. So let's begin.
How you doing there, Miss Lee? You muted, beloved.
Say, I was like, can you hear me? Because it's my first time doing streams. I just got an iPhone, so I'm new to both of them. But nevertheless.
Now, mind you, what you were witnessing, it's a very intriguing conversation, mind you. And this is a learning lesson for all women, particularly Black women, because that's who she focused on. And the focus, really, if you think about it, is in regards better and self improvement to the ladies, lovely ladies, and how they move not only in the streets but how they move in relationships. And we all know relationships is like work, but nonetheless, relationships is always work and is not always a one size fix all. You're going to have to do things that you never do to make your opposite spouse, you know, make it more easier and make it more of a haven, in lack of better words. So make the relationship flourish. In other words. All right, so let's listen. Good.
I called in. I was nervous too, but I just wanted to call in because it was seeming like you were looking or trying to feeling like kind of aggravated or kind of discouraged with women.
Oh, Crimson Cure is not discouraged. She's very frustrated on the direction Black women are going, and not the older Black women, because once you pass, let's say, close to 40, you're actually done. And usually, the next best move is to move on to women that have not been damaged mentally, spiritually, and by God physically, if give or take. She's frustrated because she know Black women not only could change, but they can do better, and they must do better instead of complain. Hello, Mela. So she's very frustrated in the outcomes of Black women here in the West. Most likely, that's her frustration. She's not really disappointed on all that other stuff. So let's keep listening. Praise.
And you really become like a big teacher to me. So I'm like, no, let me call just so like what you I could I put it in the comments, but you're a blessing. You're a blessing. And I'll be quick like my backstory going through a divorce and it's hard. It's hard managing being new to going to the dating scene or whatever, and what is the right thing to do? Because basically, I was married for 8 years, so all this dating stuff.
Now she's gone through a divorce, and I think the divorce was finalized. Now I'm not sure during this whole conversation, are they legally divorced, or this is some so-called what they want to label it, and I'm not using this word, but we're gonna go there, a hotep marriage. This so-called jump the broom type nonsense. This we don't need no paperwork that we married nonsense. We have to dissect this part. What type of marriage you're in that really justify, if you are in a legal marriage, a divorce. Let's listen more.
What is new? And I'm like, this what men want these days? This what we gotta do to get attention or to get a man to like you? And it's just crazy. Put it like that. It's just totally crazy. But it's
You
good to
blanked
get.
out for me. So go
Oh,
back over that last few sentences. I'm sorry.
okay. I'm sorry. I was just saying that you are a blessing to me because basically I'm going through divorce, but I was married for 8 years. So basically brand new to the dating scene and just seeing how things are now, how women are carrying themselves, and it's just I'm like, oh, that's what we do now. Like that's how it's supposed to be, and it's it's not me. Put it like that. I'm like, oh my goodness, I'm gonna be single for a while now if this is what men are desiring. But it's good, basically, all that to say to see platforms like yours who remind me, just let me know I'm not crazy for thinking like the twerking and just out there and I can't go to Cheesecake Factory and just the list goes on and on of the foolishness and the mindset of the modern woman or new or women these days. I'm in my 30s. I'm in my mid 30s. Really my late 30s. I'm 36. So in the late part of 30. And it's just brand new. And I'm like, oh my gosh, this is what it is. And this is what men want. And because obviously it's not. The more I get attached to the right channels and the right people, the right groups of people, understand that okay, my thought process quote unquote old school is not all the way crazy. It's still the better way.
Oh, and one other thing I do want to say as we listen to this, I would appreciate people as they come into the building to like the stream, share the stream. Likes are free. Last time I checked, you can share. Sharing is caring, and make sure you subscribe to the channel as well. Matter of fact, let me check. Yeah, and also become a member of the Cast Rain Show as well. Hello, Hessel Messler. Hold on, let me do this because I did not do this earlier. I'm gonna I'm gonna put this in the chat room. I would love Queens of Virtue to make sure she posts this as the stream goes on. This will go a long way. All right, good. So I found that. All right, so we're gonna continue listening. Sit back. All right, and let's enjoy. Let's go. Fair use. Fair use.
Way to think, and just being connected to the right mindset people, and just getting that reminder. Okay, Aubrey, you're not losing it. You're not tripping. So it's really just an encouragement to you, and just a thank you for all you do. And don't stop. Don't stop.
I'm gonna try not to stop, but I do want to have a slight conversation, if Miss Lee.
Of course, yes. Go ahead.
May I ask? You said you were 36. You said you had been married for 8 years. May I ask why you're getting a divorce?
Yes, I went to get a divorce because I can't work on it by myself. It takes two. I believe it takes two. At this, I've been separated. I've been married. I'm still legally married. Honestly, I'm still going through the divorce. But I've been living separate from my husband for 4 years.
Oh, you were separate, like living separate?
Living separate. It was September 2019. I was still pregnant with our youngest child. She'll be 4 next month in January. And I left in September.
Do you have, sweetheart?
How
many children do you have?
We have 2.
You have 2 children.
A 5-year-old and like I said, a 4. She'll be 4 next month.
5 and 4. Okay. And you all separated when you were pregnant with the youngest one?
Yes.
I'm sorry to hear that.
It was hard.
Do you mind being a little bit more specific about the reasons behind what got you separated from your husband?
Before she goes into more wide detail, as you know, I give her credit if she is legally married. She did it right. She gone through, they knew each other for a certain period of time. Then, as they seal a deal, and mind you, they were having intercourse before getting married. Let's get that straight. Because we don't do that. I don't think we don't go by this 9-day rule, this so-called nonsense like Steve Harvey, which he himself is not a good example of a track record of how to do it. Make a man wait. Subscribe tag. Even if you think about that, not only most men don't subscribe tag, you ladies don't subscribe tag. When you into a dude, you're going to give up the goods. You're going to bust it wide open for you're going to bust it wide open for a brother. You feel me? For a dude. So stop it. But other than that, she did things right, Gone through the relationship. They actually got married. Then the children come around. That is the proper and right way to go. So I can't knock that. So let's see if she could really pull more out the blanket and unveil what we don't see. Fair use, fair use.
Sure, I don't have an issue with yeah. Basically, it was his mouth. The way
his mouth.
His mouth. It wasn't none of this. And honestly, it wasn't even a infidelity thing. It was the way he talked to me. The way he talked to me, the way he handled me. If I open to you, things he knew about me that I spoke to my husband. I told my husband in secrecy and privacy, my hurts, things that, traumas I've been through growing up. You think you feel safe to be to your spouse. But when mad they come, that's why just such and such did this. And that's why XYD did that. And it just became a lot. And even after I separated, I was still, because of course, like I said, who leaves?
Now, that's interesting. She said that her reason why she dissolved or in the process of dissolving this marriage is because her husband has a mouth. Now, it kills me when I hear women, modern women particularly, modern women, when they talk about, mouth. And they think that you think men in general would love to stay around you and you got a mouth. Like literally. And mind you, we always hear this notion that, and I hear dudes, most sims say this, like a good portion of sips say, don't argue, woman. I said, fuck that. Yes, you should argue if this woman is nonsense. Like literally. Because in the mind of the opposite sex, when argument occurs, there has to be resolution where someone has to win and say the last word, have the last word. And I hear this notion that a lot of dudes to let these women have last word, or let. So I'm thinking, if you're thinking like that, then obviously in your mind, as a man, that she cannot be above approach. She's never wrong. Now I'm not sure if that's logic in the long run, but if you're a man, if that is your thinking, and you're trying to condition every other young man or men that's your age or older to move like that, a lot of dudes gonna look at you, bro, side eye. And yeah, a man should have always the last word, personally. Now, is it always all the time? Depending on the scenario. But most times, if it's some fruitless argument, a really unnecessary argument, he's gonna probably should have the last word. It has to take a lot for you as a woman to make your point, and it may be a point where it makes sense. And when you talk to the opposite sex, on the average, ladies, this is general. How we think, it sounds like Charlie Brown saying a bunch of nonsense most of the time. Or some dudes would keep real with you. They say majority of the time. And we're not in business to listen to nonsense, especially some dumb stuff. I'm looking at this. So really true, yeah, man should have last mouth. Now, if the mouth is the only determined factor you have to dissolve the marriage, I don't think so. And especially she talking about secrets and using secrets against you. Modern women, majority of women today use secrets against men that either they've been with a good while or not. They will use secrets against them. So I'm trying to understand the energy. Very few men will use any secrets and benefit towards you on the average. Hell, I don't think I'm using those secrets. You tell me secrets. It would take a lot for me to sit there to really spill a team and say something that you told me that was very secret against you. Unless you're gonna play, I could play that game too, and you start doing the opposite towards man. Man tells you his deep, darkest secrets and use that against him as a weapon. But by all means, if that would occur, all gloves are off. The purpose of any devolving any information is usually you gotta be in a state or a place where you're in a comfort state. Now, I would tell most people, men and women, anything that you have that's problematic, traumatic, you should keep to yourself at all costs. Today. And the reason why, because hurt people or people that have issues are gonna find any means to use against you if you go south or you hurt somebody else's feelings. They will use against you to get back at you. I think it's in human nature to always, I gotta get back at you. It is what it is. Oh, one thing, as the numbers add on and as we get more people watching, please guys share this on your timeline. I think this is gonna be a very interesting breakdown. I'm giving my perspective on this. So please, share this on your channel or on your social media. This will help me grow and really help push what I'm doing as you're hitting like button. Remember, likes are free, so make sure you keep the likes up. And if my good moderator is still in build, please make sure to share any links that I put, but always tell people to make sure to hit the like button. So let's continue. Oh, and please support the channel, hit the super chat or whatever. All right, let's continue. Fair use.
What 30-year-old woman with a 1-year-old, big pregnant with a second child, just throws their marriage away?
It's a lot of them actually.
Well, and you know what? This is the thing. Back to the mindset.
And she's right. There is a lot of women that's throwing away their marriage for less. Like literally, for less. Why do you think the purpose of no-fault divorce came in existence? It's another avenue to resolve and relinquish the marriage between two partners much easier instead of giving valid reasons why you're breaking up your household or ending the marriage. Keep that in mind. Just keep that in mind. By the way, let's listen more.
That's why I'm like, because when I left the house, and it's so funny, I was just talking to his mother 2 days ago. I said, I left the house, but I never left the marriage. I never abandoned the marriage. I was still, let's do therapy, let's do counseling. Well, we do counseling over the phone, just like I'm talking to you. You know everything you can do to the phone these days. I said, yeah, well, if you don't have time, we can do it over your lunch break. XYZ, still trying to make it where I physically left the environment because it was negative and draining to me. And it was hard. Like I said, I'll be no good to my daughter because we have 2 daughters. If I'm being drained and pulled down in a toxic situation. So I took myself out of the situation, me out of the situation with hopes of rebuilding. You know what I'm saying? Just, okay, let's step back. And okay, let's do therapy, counseling. What things can we do to rebuild?
What was his response to your request for counseling?
You don't have time.
For 4 years. Was that his only response to that?
Yes. It's always been the answer. He doesn't have time, or he didn't have time. He was working too much. That's when I suggested the video chat, because mind you, I was going through therapy. Because I was going through therapy, and I would do it just like on the phone. I had my therapy sessions on the phone. I never had to leave the house because I was pregnant, and I'm grateful that I work from home. I worked from home since before COVID, so I've always been basically at home, and I had to, I was able to go through my therapy, everything through the phone. So I told him the option is there, the flexibility is there. He didn't want to do it.
Did he attempt any other way to address your issue in that marriage?
No, I'll tell you this. The last time I talked to this husband of mine, now mind you, it was in July. Now mind you, I'm going through the divorce, but I've been attempting to, because I'm still going through the divorce, but I've been trying to do this for probably about 2 or 3 years. Make it difficult because we have young children. Like whenever I'll talk to the judge, she'll say XYZ and 2 young children. So I guess she's trying to give him all of his opportunities to respond to my request on my divorce paper, but he never reached back. But nevertheless, he called on Facebook. So I don't even have a telephone number. And I told him, I said, I'm moving. If you want, we can give it out. We can be together for our daughters. I said, we need to be together for our children. I said, we can rebuild our marriage. That would be ideal.
Let me ask you a question. I'm sorry to stop you.
No, you.
Now, that said a lot. Now, if you think about it, if you look at it, one of the few things that caught my attention, she wants to, in my opinion, it's just me, guys. She wants to take her husband to the therapy to resolve what he is saying verbally to her in this relationship, because she can't deal with her husband's mouth. So, in other words, the therapy that she wants sent, because really, when a woman says she wants therapy to you guys, usually thing that comes to men in male language is that means that you want your husband to be in front of a therapist, which is mostly a woman, and give or take, God knows if she's black, to sit there and pipe you down on how you go about your words towards your wife. That's what she don't like. Now, mind you, guys, if you were to therapy seriously and you're going through this so-called verbal backslap with your wife, and you decide you want to go to therapy and you need couple therapy, and you take her to therapy, I guarantee you she will not agree going to therapy in regards to how she treats you verbally. This is why it's not the same energy. And that's why I could feel and relate to the brother why he didn't want to go hear no stupid therapist. Because he knows, and depending on what state of conscience he is, he knows that when your wife starts saying we need a counseling and all that stuff, because I like how you talk to me, that's not another way of saying, I'm going to take you to this person so that you can stop saying crap to me verbally. And your husband is not down for that. He don't hear no third party tell him what to do. Personally. So that's why he declined the therapy. Not saying therapy won't work. I think more black people should really consider therapy anyway to meet unresolved issues anyway. But in the case of this, because that's the only issue, because he's using what you say against you and all this nonsense, that's not really gripes for therapy on the average. Personally. But like I said, I'm just sitting there being a spectator and really giving my own take what I'm trying to get at why you want your husband and yourself to go to therapy. Let's keep listening. And make sure you like the stream. Fair use.
So you all at this point are not in communication with each other to the point where you don't have his personal phone number?
That is correct. The last time I physically saw him, me and our daughter, we physically saw each other and exchanged words was in July. And that's when I told him we're moving, because of course when I left him, I went to my parents' house. So I was there until within the past like 6 months we actually moved, because I was pregnant with 2 young children, going through. So I just, basically I had to rebuild.
What was his reason for not giving you his contact information?
What's good, Shadow Star Gaming? What's good? All right, let's keep listening. Fair use.
Considering the fact that he has 2 small daughters with you.
I don't know.
He didn't tell you?
No. I guess I can't call him. His birthday was yesterday. I called on FaceTime just to let his daughter tell him happy birthday.
So how does he contact you when it comes time to communicate with you about seeing his children and what you do as a family unit?
Well, my telephone number has not changed, so he knows how to reach me when he wants to. I've never kept our daughters away. So he
calls you
when he wants to,
and you aren't able to.
I told you last time when he did call, it was on Facebook.
So every time he calls you, it's on Facebook, or some social media type.
This is the Facebook thing is relatively new. Prior to that, he had a telephone number, and I would call the number. Then one time the number was off, and then I saw you on TV. Okay, I know. It was off, and the phone number was off until all of a sudden I called it, and a totally different person picked up the phone. So they recycled the number at that point. And I asked for him, and they said the number, you have the wrong number. And then at that point I couldn't do anything because I didn't have, I had no way to contact him until eventually he called on Facebook. But of course that's not an actual telephone.
No, it's not a telephone. So
now I don't mind children, right? But And I think YouTube did some strict harsh about the thing with children around certain videos. Last much I could be wrong, but it will be more respectful for you ladies that's watching this. For future reference, if you have children present, depending on age, try to slowly attend them and then come back onto the live stream. I think it'd be better that you shouldn't have your babies in front of live streams. In my opinion, it's just me. Because you're dealing with adults. And you know, adults, so we talk about grown stuff. And it really hurts the content when children are around grown folks' conversations on the average. So if you're a lady or you're a gentleman, please refrain have your children in front of live streams as possible. Personally, it would make better sense. It makes greater contact and it's respectful, in my opinion. You know, we know everybody has children and you attend. Just put the phone down, attend to them, and come back, please. Just come back. All right, so let's continue. Fair use.
Hey, sweetheart. So she just cute as she want to be.
This is
Hey,
the bitch.
baby.
This is the one I was pregnant. She never lived with her daddy.
So the last time y'all spoke, he called on from Facebook. That was in July, you said. So that was months ago in the summer.
It was months ago.
When you asked him, hey, what's going on with your phone? You know, because this Facebook thing, this is a little wonky. His response was,
Honestly, I didn't even get a chance to because they were so excited to as to where they don't remember too much, but they of course. I just tried to distract him. Like our older, she just lost her two bottom teeth. She want to show him. I want to show daddy. I want to show daddy. I said, well, when he calls, I'll let you show him.
do you know where he is? Like where he stays, his address?
No, because
So
I tried
he
to
has cut
serve
off communication with you. He's
basically.
essentially said he doesn't want you like being able to reach him at your will when
Correct.
you get ready.
That is correct.
Now, that's interesting that Crimscure brought that up. That he does have a way to access his wife when he wants, in regards to the situation, in regards to his responsibility and his obligation to his daughter. That's good. That's fine. Nothing's wrong with that. Now in regards to him, I mean, how he deals with her, that's something that, you know, only time will resolve it. For a reason, if he's cut you off, let me say this. Ladies, it takes a lot for a man to really make the conscious decision if he has kids with you to cut you off and only deals with the kids. It's not really natural for a man to sit there and say, I want some involvement. I don't want you involved. It's something that either you did really for a man to go that direction. Because very rare I find, and I talked to some in a situation I could understand. I still tell him it's better to still have the conversation with your wife or baby mama still for the sake of the children, you know, because you and her are now maybe not together, but you have to work as a team now for the sake of the children. But nonetheless, it takes a lot for a man to really cut you off, and there is always a breaking point. And I'm hoping that as Crimscure goes more deep to really find the real reason why, you know, if he didn't, she said right during this early part of the stream, that needs to be more uncovered for more context. So let's keep listening in. Fair use, fair use.
Because of course I had to serve from the letter. I tried to serve him 3 different times, and all the paperwork came back.
To serve him like papers.
Correct. I
And
served
y'all have been out of the house since.
together.
All right, so it seemed to me that She and her husband are actually legally married to the state, which explains and answers my question. That's good. That's good. That's good. I'm not sure if that's how it works nowadays. It takes two parties. Whoever files divorce, the other recipient has to go ahead and follow through the divorce. I think that's how it normally goes. I don't know if y'all ladies will agree. I think it normally goes if, let's say you're a woman and you set for file divorce on said man. I think it's the man's and to really file the papers to agree with the divorce. I think that's how it normally works, unless that has changed. Y'all guys could probably dialogue in the comment to answer this. Anyway, let's keep listening in.
The last address we had together, the papers came back. I tried to serve him at work, and they sent the papers back saying that he's never in the office. So basically, because the job he works, the work he does, he doesn't have a set place. He works at different locations in like construction type of thing. He's an electrician, but nevertheless, he's always somewhere doing, at a different site. So they sent the papers back saying that he's never in that's physical office. So they sent that back to me. And the last time I sent to another address, a possible address where he could be in, those came back, and that was actually last week. I got those papers back.
Okay. So, excuse me please forgive me for sort of circling around because I'm just trying to make sense of what I'm hearing. And obviously, this is a snippet, so we don't have any full information about your life. And I would never ask you to divulge more than what you're comfortable with.
Correct.
But I have to admit, it sounds a little interesting from my point of view because I'm an outsider, because I don't know the details, that a man that is essentially, from what you say, verbally abusive to you.
Yeah, the way
has cut you off from talking.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't want you to talk.
Oddly enough.
Was that a two-way street? The verbal?
I know I stand up for myself. I'll say that. I can't say I do. I'll stand up for myself, and the words, will go back and forth. Even most definitely 4 years ago, before I had to do some maturing myself in regards to the whole, just everything. But so, like I said, I would say words too. He'll say something to me, I'll return it back, and everything. So, I won't say I was a squeaky clean. Like I never did anything, or never said words back. Or if you say this to me, okay, I try to say something back. I'm not gonna say that.
Now that's interesting. I thought, and to those that was listening into this conversation, her reason why she divorced him because her husband was very reckless with the mouth. But now come to find out, because she's now diving more to need more information for further context, she has agreed that her mouth is just as verbal as anyone else. So it seems to me, to the both of y'all, well, probably you, because you're the one that want to end their marriage. You don't like how the way he is verbally going back at you, and he's getting the upper hand with the verbiage, or what we call this argument between you and her. That's what I'm starting to pick up, because I don't hear anything about really physical abuse when you and him are in a physical altercation. I'm only hearing the real main reason is you're divorcing because of his mouth. Am I wrong, ladies and gentlemen that's listening to this? If not, I could rewind back for y'all to hear this. It is up to y'all. All right, let's keep going.
So these seem just like arguments, and you could correct me if this is not your perspective, but just from an outsider looking in, and what I know of people in general,
Correct.
Sounds like, I'm gonna tell you what it sounds like. It sounds like he might have been a little bit sharp at the tongue with what was going on, especially if he liked to bring up stuff that you said in confidence. That can be problematic.
Correct.
But at the same time, this seemed like mutual verbal combat. Like he say something and you gonna say something, and that's going to devolve into arguments where y'all are taking low blows at each other, which I always warn married couples not to do. You can
Correct.
argue about the issue, but you can't take low blows because it begins to build a resentment outside of whatever the issue was that you were arguing about, because you don't forget what somebody said to you in the heat of an argument, because that's more often than not, that's really how they be feeling whenever
Correct.
they get hot,
Yeah. Yeah.
and the emotions come up, and then they say something to cut your throat just cut, and we can get over maybe what we argued about, but in the back of my mind, I'm gonna
Mhm.
remember that you called me a so and so so and so.
Correct.
They gonna remember that you called them a so and so so and so, and that
Yeah.
you said such and such to
There we
them
go. Right
in
here.
the heat of what was going on. For him to cut you off from communication, to not allow you to have his personal phone number, to not allow you to know where he stayed, to
Mm-hmm.
not allow or to reject somehow um divorce papers served to him even at work. This is an indicator that not only did you feel verbally abused, he felt it as well. He felt
That's what his mother was
that
telling me.
you
That
do too much.
that's
So
what that
he don't want to hear that from you.
talked to her. She was like, she said, y'all say the same thing. She said, y'all say exactly. He say the same that you do to him what you saying he do to you. And my response, I was like, well, I'm defending myself. If he comes at me sideways. And mind you, this is conversations of at this point 4 years old because this is where we're still in the home together. And I was like, yeah. So he said if he comes at me sideways, and eventually, yeah, I do return. I am, bitch. I'm not on my in my offense or my defense.
Oh! Before she goes to defense, as you know, make sure become a member of the Chaos Rain Show. As you know, 2 tiers membership. Become a member of the Chaos Rain Show. You know, you'll see in the chat room. Become a member. Also, make sure you, as you like in the stream, like the stream, share the stream, and contribute to the stream via super chat or cash app, either or. With all contributions, we appreciate it. As you know, yeah, fair use.
I was not the initiator. Like I will respond
You ain't
at
started, but
that,
you finished it.
but I and for what not saying.
Oh! Wait. So you'll finish it, right? What does Kevin Samuels said about this?
God damn it! You can't make this shit up.
Yeah, continuing.
That's the right fit, the right way to be. Because of course now look at me. I'm 36 years old with 2 young children, and and going through a divorce. But at the time, that's how it was. Now, like I said, now mind you, I've been through the therapy, just the healing. Like I said, I've been separated 4 years. So at this point, when we did talk, prior from cutting us off, because the whole separation, we were totally not being able to contact with each other. We would talk, 'cause like I said, I was still pregnant. So I still carried the baby. I still, XYZ in the third. It wasn't until probably about the last year where he totally like came around when he wanted to. We probably seen each other twice within the past 2 years. And other than that, we phone contact, and then from there, like I said, the phone number, no more. But
Whenever y'all used to talk, would it always, or 9 times out of 10, devolve into an argument and y'all be mad at each other by the end of the contact?
at towards the after being separated, most definitely yes, because I'm trying to get resolutions. I will be like, okay, what are we gonna do? What can we do? Like I said, I'm trying to suggest therapy. You know, I said we get back together after therapy. We get back together, but we need to go to a new house. I think we should move somewhere different. We can start new. We can start fresh. These are things I'm telling.
You know, it intrigues me that people are not going to have back and forths, either in a respectful manner or just in general. That if someone's winning the verbal argument, which it looks like he has, because that's the reason why she's really make or send the president of grounds for divorce, and she divorced him because you can't win an altercation verbally with this dude, and he's not gonna go to no therapy. So we hear some mostly in our own group or someone else to sit there point the finger at him that he should not do this, consider feelings and all that stuff. Nah, he ain't playing that. So the best thing, like anything which makes perfect sense, that you say, I'm just gonna walk away from it. This is too much work, man. Told you marriage is work. It's not easy thing. I mean, some dudes nowadays, they'll just say, screw it. They'll let you get the last word sometimes, but not all the time. And she admit that she has a mouth on herself, and she's dealing with another person that has just as or a bigger mouth than her, and she can't deal with it. That don't sound like to me that it's healthy or makes sense to really devolve a marriage. If you're a person that always has to be as a say so and always has to win argument or even start arguments for a reason, maybe you should not be in this relationship, much less a marriage. Because there are trade-offs. What you really gonna deal with the times that you're not gonna always have your way? What you gonna do? Are you gonna go through your little tantrums, or are you gonna have and put your big girl draws and woman up? Just saying. Decisions. Anyway, let's keep going. Fair use.
Him, like I said, as separated, but these are when we are still talking. And like I said, I'm always as of trying to rebuild my marriage. I did not, like I said, I left the house, not the marriage. I never abandoned my husband. I abandoned or I separated myself from the environment, as to where it was a toxic or
Let me
always
ask you
back
this.
and forth. Yes, ma'am.
What was the main issue as the reason why you sought therapy? What were you trying to resolve mainly?
Trying to see if we could be in a place where
No,
somebody.
your
Oh, my
personal
specific
therapy.
therapy.
Yeah.
Oh, me personally was because it was a very low place. It was just trying to help me get a grasp of my own self, find myself to an extent, and get to a place where I can move forward. Because I still, whether husband of mine is present or not, I still have to raise my daughters. I still have to be of a same place to move forward. So we're just trying to seek sanity, a form
As
of.
far as you know, do he want his kids? Like, does he want like at least joint custody of them? As far as you know.
I would say yes. The last when he did talk to the girls, Daddy love you, Daddy see you soon. He's telling them all the right things, and I never speak away from it. So yeah, Daddy will call you tomorrow. Daddy love y'all so much. All of those things, and I leave it at that. I don't. You ain't gonna call him. I don't do that. I don't
How
talk.
willing are you to allow him to get joint custody?
That's all. That's what's on the paper. If you ever get those papers, it's there. It's joint custody. I never. Everything is 50-50 on the paper. The paper I just got 3 days ago. Everything on there is joint custody. I never would take them away.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, do you really believe that once he files that papers that he's gonna really get joint custody of his kids? Do we really want to believe that? And as we're looking throughout the environment, personally, that usually if it does end divorce, 9 tenths of the time, most of the ladies, lovely ladies, are not gonna be in the business wanting joint custody. And I think the reason why that is because, let's be honest, that means he won't be paying too much in child support. And I'm hearing a lot of things from ladies personally about this child support, right? Child support today in the 21st century is not what it is. Unlike it was in the 90s when it was really enforced. I mean, there was some money you could make off a man paying you child support, which you go and really pocket for yourself, ladies. Let's keep real. Sometimes the children will get some out of it, but really, most of the time when a lady gets child support, they really spend on themselves on the average. So, and it's proven evident because when we look at the end result, a lot of these children that are adults or, are leaving or approaching 18 years of age or etc. I mean, there's nothing really left down for them because the mother usually spends most of the money. That's why a lot of women today, and I know there's some laws now being set as we speak, on how they're now going to try to make child support really what it's meant to be for the children, and they're going to be really monitoring where the money is being spent now, which is actually a good thing. It should have been enforced 15 years ago, in my opinion, since they start enforcing child support on a lot of American men for the past 30, going almost 32 years, since 1992. I mean, think about it. You asking for child support, the guy starts to say, screw it, just pay it, keep pushing, and you ask for more to buy things for the children. And no, the man is giving you roughly an average more than monthly $45 in child support. And that's just the average now. And it probably went a little down because they cut back in. But back then, usually depending on certain states, and it varies, you're looking at some dudes will pay $1,500 a month on child support, or even go as far as I heard one dude was paying $2,000 a month of child support. And you know what I'm going to do since I'm talking about child support, and this came to my mind, and I'm going to do a pause for a second because we got to do the numbers here, and this is just rough numbers. I'm going to look at what is the average cost to how much money you need to raise a child from 0 to 18, and I think now it's supposed to be up to 20. They kind of raise it. I don't know, I could be wrong. 21, but we're going to look at the numbers right now, guys. And I'm going to try to pull up right now. To pull this up anyway. Cause it came to my thought when I was creating the stream. So let me pull up the numbers. Let's look at the numbers. All right, how much? No, matter of fact, let me go to ChatGPT. That'll probably help more better. How much money will it take to raise a child in the United States? United States of America. America. Go. All right, Will, tell me. Okay, I'm going to use ChatGPT results, and then I'm going to actually it says here approximately family raised child born from 2015 to age 18 is approximately $233,610. That's from 2015, 9 years ago. So now let me highlight this question, and let's look at what is how much it is now in 2023 going 2024. And it looks like I'm getting the numbers. Okay, here's one. There we go. And is this cost per time? Yeah, all right. Well, I'm gonna show you this, guys. Yeah. Okay. All right, so I'm gonna look at this, guys. Let's look at this. Present. How you doing? NC worker. And they're gonna probably break it down from region, but we're gonna look at this one. It says from Google, how much does it cost to raise a child from in 2023? The key takeaways, according to USAID data, inflation stats from the BLS raising a child in 2023 costs or could cost an average of $331,993. Child is born to age 18. Let me see if I'll see that. Not see that. Hold on. That's what it says here. Now, if there's any external links, that's AB7. We don't want that. There's northwestmutual.com. I'm not sure what that is. Let me see what that is before I continue. Yeah, so the same thing. All right, well, it says the same thing. So roughly, that's how much it's now. So now we know that, and I'll share my screen so y'all can look at this. So I'm not. This is Northwestern Mutual. Y'all can look at it. Let me share it now so y'all can look at this. See this? So it's actually, that's the average right now. All right. And I hope you guys can see it. Let me remove this. That's what it shows right here. All right. So now we know this. The thing that comes to my mind, child support. Child support varies from different states. The average right now, if I type up the average of how much child support is the average, which I'll do right now. Because we got to look at the numbers so things make sense. How much money in child support? And I'm looking at it now. And I'm getting mixed numbers right now as we speak. So let me go back. It says here roughly the calculation of Longhand's combined parental income only up to $1,400, and multiple is applicable child support percentage. One child and the care of custodial parent is 17%, two children 25%, three children 29%, four children 31%, and five or more is 35% or more. And there's middle law, what they call Melville's law, and it says the same thing, 1,400 since 2014, now a decade ago. So that's for a decade. So we could say it's pretty much costly. And roughly, there's more, as I said, is 20-something thousand per year to what they said. So let's go there. Let's say right now is 16. Oh, actually, matter of fact, how much money in child support in the United States in, let me say in 2023, and then use say the same thing. I'm looking at census right now. All right. Okay, I don't see nothing here. So we'll go with 1,400 for now, and we could say between 15. We'll say 1,500 for sake of conversation of the live stream. And thank y'all for y'all patience. We're gonna look at the calculator right now. All right, 15,000 a month times 12. That's 18 grand. Okay. As you know, I said 15 grand times 12 months. That's 18,000. Now they say roughly the median right now is 20, a total of 20K more a year. Even I heard it goes up to 1,300. So to get that number, we're going to have to say 2,200. Oh, sorry. In 12 months, that's 26,000. So we could say roughly, if to make it roughly 30 grand a year in child support, you're looking at roughly 2,500 a month. Now, mostly every state varies. It does go to 2,500, 2,500 a month in child support. I think in certain states, if I could recall, there was a cap. I don't know if it's Texas. I think it's Texas, where the cap is you cannot exceed 2,500 in child support. Now that's a cap in Texas. This is what I remember. But all other states, it varies depending on somebody's income. It can go from 2 grand to 30 grand. And you know, some celebrities that got money is more money. But the point is this: if we talk about the average in the United States, you're looking at maybe, let's say, close to 2 grand. So if I gotta guess, and I'm going to guess because I don't got the actual numbers. Google's not giving me a good indicator what's the average. I'm gonna say the average right now. I'm gonna say, let's say, is 1,600 today. You're paying 600 all across other states a month child support times 12. That's 19 grand, right? Let's say it's that. Now, me saying this, and it's just me, guys. Me saying this, if that's how much is in a year, how this accumulates to $331 a year to raise a child, one child? We can't say about the other child, but let's say one child, right? In the United States, that's how much it's going to cost you from 0 to 18 in total. Because it's not like every year you're going to pay rent. Because most Americans, the median average is like 30 to 40 grand. Maybe sometimes some people at different race, it might 50. It's not a lot. So 19 grand, and we say that for a period of 18 years times 18 years, you're looking at that amount. So to make that of equivalent of 3,031,000, and I'm glad it did that because that's what it says today. The average now is 3,031. So let's do some reverse engineer, shall we? Ain't this great? We're gonna do some reverse engineer. I know this is boring, but we gotta do it. Let's do some reverse engineer, shall we? Let's say it's 2,000, right? Times 18. Still too much. So let's go down further. Let's say 1,500 a month times 12 months. That's 18 grand a year. Let's times that up to 18. So roughly, I'm almost there. Let's go with 19. Let's go with if that is, let's go with 16,200 times 12 times 18 years. So it's going up. So let's say 300. Let's do this times 12 times 18. Bingo. There you have it. Let's see. Yeah. So we're looking at you're looking at the average right now. Let's look at this. So we're gonna go back. Let me go back. I'm going back right now. It says 1,331, right? To get 1,331, I'm looking at right now, guys. To get that number, and we're at 13. So to get that number, we're looking at 1,540 times 1,540. 1,540. 1,540. So and 1,532 times 18. 1,532. So it's roughly 1,533 times 1,533. 1,533. Oh, my fault. Let's say 1,533 times 12 times 18 years. There we go. So it's $1,533 a month, which equals to $18,396 a year, up to 18 years. That's the total right now. That's just my mathematics. And it looks like some weird pseudo mathematics, but nonetheless, that's how they might have calculated why they got the numbers they said, how much it costs now in 2023, roughly. Anyway, so let's continue with the tape. I'm sorry I had to do that because I got to see the math, the numbers, because numbers got to make sense, what accumulates to make up to that point. So let's finish up. Fair use, fair use.
From their father.
On a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being easy and 10 being hell on wheels, how difficult would you say, or those conversations are when you were having conversations, no matter what it pertained to, if he called for the kids or if he called for any other reason or you called him, how difficult or tumultuous or argumentative were those conversations?
I want to say 10, but I'll say like a strong eight. A strong 8. It's never if we start talking about something where a person has to work on self, where a person has to say, well, you know what, I might have a temper, or you know what, I might jump the gun, or I might have to count down 10 before I say the thing that my initial thought.
Miss Lee, tell me about the day you moved out your house. What was going on?
It was 2 o'clock in the morning.
What was that day? What happened in that day? Did you tell him? Did you warn him that that's what you was going to do? Did y'all have a conversation about it, an argument about it? Take me through the main points of that day. The day you decided, I gotta go. I'm taking the kids with me.
It was very, like I said, it was 4 years ago, and it was very random. It wasn't planned. It was early in the morning, 1, 2 o'clock in the morning, in the middle of an argument. I just took my daughter. I took my big girl. At that time, she had just turned a year. Her birthday, August. So she had just turned a year, and I went out the room. And I went to my parents. They stayed across town, so I was, so I had somewhere to go. And I never planned when I left. I never thought I would be gone 4 years.
Mm.
And you know what I'm saying.
So
You be
1 or 2 o'clock in the morning suggests a bad argument that
yeah,
was probably going on for quite some time before it reached the crescendo. And at
come on.
1 or 2 o'clock, early wee hours in the morning,
Mhm.
you gathered yourself and you gathered your baby. And you said you went to your parents' house across town? Okay.
Yes,
How long did you stay with them?
I just moved out about 6 months ago.
6 months.
I
So
stayed. I was there. Like I said, I left not thinking I would be gone. I left, but not thinking I would be gone 4 years. And I just to the point where I said, okay, because at this point, my girls, they're bigger. They need their own space. Like I said, they're 5 and 3. So I went and I just got my own place. And like I
did
said,
he
I
move
talked to him.
on?
I welcomed him to our new home
Did he
together.
move on? Miss Lee, did he move on in the 4 years? Has he moved on?
I never know him to be another woman or be with somebody else. Like I saw him with a woman or he pulled up to pick up the girls with another woman in a car or anything like that. So I don't know of his personal life like that. I don't.
Well, to be fair, maybe she doesn't make it a priority. I mean, and it makes sense because you have your 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 daughter, and you want to put a little more prior towards on her well being than worry about what he's doing out here in these streets. So it makes sense. I mean, certain women nowadays, when they move on, they don't really worry about what their baby dad is doing with their husband. But it seems to me she's more focused on her child, which is fair, and that's good. You know, right now your focus should be how you gonna what y'all gonna do about your daughter. In regards to the raising moving forward. I think in regards, worrying about what he's doing out here. I mean, it's not really her priority, and it shouldn't be. But so I have no problem with she's not really putting that as a priority or focus. But let's keep it to the end. Fair use, fair use.
It seemed like he wants a relationship with you because from the outside looking in, and I'm sorry if this is hurtful because I know it's got to be hurtful and I'm not trying to hurt you.
It's
But I have to sort of ask certain questions because this might be helpful to you and it may be helpful to other people who might be going through a similar situation because divorces are not easy. I've watched them up close and they are very difficult most of the time for either party.
yeah.
So I'm trying to be as delicate as I can, but also auntie.
Of course, yes, man. No, I appreciate you. And I honestly respect you. I was calling, really, like I said, just to give you your flowers and tell you keep doing what you do. And it turned into this. But I appreciate you. And like I said, your insight.
No problem. And I appreciate it. I'm not gonna hold you too much longer because I'm gonna have to go in a minute.
Yes,
But as an outsider, this is what it looks like is that this relationship, this marriage that you had with him was mutually combative verbally. And I said that earlier on in the call. Mutually combative. Mutually like you got one, I got one for you. You got something to say, I definitely got something to say back. So I'm not gonna let you talk to me X, Y, and Z without me giving you A, B, and C. And it reached a point as to where almost probably anytime y'all talked, it was gonna start devolving into some type of back and forth, even if
I
it
understand what you're saying. Because
wasn't
we both
horrible.
already on edge. We both
Yeah,
on defense all the time
all
because of
defense all the
past.
time. I've watched those types of levels of communication become extremely toxic, where you can't communicate. The two of you can't communicate. Period. period, without somebody getting snarky, somebody gonna get snippy, somebody gonna say something and feel away.
Yeah.
Well, why you say it like that? Why you do? What you say it like that to me for? Why you gotta have an attitude?
It's
Whatever
on
it
edge.
is, the straw that broke the camel back became lighter and lighter, the level of straw that was needed
Yeah.
to break a camel's back. 4 years ago, the camel's back broke. You may not have intended to not have this marriage, but the behavior leading up to that said otherwise. That man, whoever he is and whatever his fault is in this situation, he feel, I'm gonna tell you why he don't want to talk.
And as she gives her conclusion why he don't want to talk to her, and I already gave my statement earlier, but now you're gonna hear from a woman's perspective, from Crimson, why she think why he's not no longer investing not only his time but the communication towards his once or divorced wife. Make sure you guys hit the like button, share the stream, and leave a comment during and after the stream, and support the channel. Hit the super chat or cash it, and make sure likes are free for those that's watching, and support the channel, please. I would surely appreciate it. Let's listen in. Fair use, fair use.
Because he emotionally can't take it either. He mentally can't. He's done.
Yeah.
He's done. He's done. The communication has become so bad. He would rather completely not communicate at all in any reasonable fashion, rather than every time y'all talk, y'all got to go at it, because now you really gonna go at it because you've been gone for 4 years and just moved out of your parents' house recently to get your own spot. Don't look like he's trying to really talk or get the relationship back together. He done swerved counseling, so he's done with it. The communication is too bad. Whether he work on it or you need to work on it or both, it actually don't matter at this point. The communication is devolved and degraded to such an extent that it don't matter whose fault it was no more. However, this is what I'll say to you, Miss Lee.
And when a man is out, he's gone, baby. He's gone. All right, hold on. Make sure everything. Wait, let me turn off some things because I'm having issues now. Make sure why am I? Okay. All right, we go. We back. All right, so let's continue on. I apologize. You know how it is. I think the tape's almost done with this one. Where's the thing? Okay, I'm going fast forward.
And going through a divorce, but at the time, strong.
Too much longer. Back and forth, even if it wasn't.
We both already on edge. We both on defense all the time.
All defense, but the behavior leading up to that said otherwise has become so bad, he completely not communicate at all in any.
Okay, we're back where we are. So make sure it's working. Yep, we're back where we are. So we should be good. All right, listen closely. Fair use, fair use.
Reasonable fashion, rather than every time y'all talk, y'all got to go at it, because now you really gonna go at it because you've been gone for 4 years and just moved out of your parents' house recently to get your own spot. Don't look like he's trying to really talk or get
Second, let me fix this. All right, is she back on? Let me do this. Yeah, I know what's going on. I know what the hell's going on. All right, let's go. Berries.
work on it, or you need to work on it, or both. It actually don't matter at this point. The communication is devolved and degraded to such an extent that it don't matter who fault it was no more. However, this is what I'll say to you, Miss Lee. Not necessarily even in regard to your marriage that you had. Communication will make a marriage survive or it will kill it, one way or the other. Having something.
Wait. Did you say that if the communication is not there, it's going to dissolve this not only relationship but a marriage? Let's rewind that because I want the ladies to listen carefully to this one. Let me go back. Let's hear that again.
Will make a marriage survive or it will kill that you had. Communication will make a marriage survive or it will kill it. This is what I'll say to you, Miss Lee. Not necessarily even will make that you had. Communication will make a marriage survive or it will kill it. One that you had. Communication will make a marriage survive or it will kill it that you had. Communication will make a marriage survive or it will kill it that you had. Communication will make a marriage survive or it will kill it.
Now, if y'all recall, there are many factors why not only relationships but marriage could potentially end. They said many things that go into. They said one, it involves finance. The other, infidelity. Others, what is infidelity? I think communication should be even as high as top of the list than anything else. Second to finance, and third, infidelity, or what they call cheating. Because once you make an actual marriage, this is an actual covenant, a long-term covenant commitment that it's only going to end when one of y'all hit the grave. And some marriage have, I'm not sure what's the average today in America, that survive to the point where one person hits the grave. Because they said marriage is death to us part. I mean, that's not something to take lightly. Now, we all know people that were baby boomers or silent generations that were married up to that point. But it lets you know not only they were needed, but communication is always the key. That they don't talk about why it survived the way it did. today in the 21st century, you'd be surprised most people resolve their issues much as have real communication skills, which I think a lot of us, we don't communicate enough because we're not very social people now. I think with technology, it kind of makes us more and more less sociable. And with this antisocial, awkward society we're in, I don't see a lot of marriage, if anyone's getting married now here in the West, surviving the way it's surviving now. Her marriage, where her husband last on the average in America today, which is 8 years. That is the average right now in America. You're not getting nothing in 8 years in an actual real marriage. The first 10 years is usually just starting. And most the marriage now is not even past 10. Food for thought. Let y'all think about that. Let's continue listening on. Fair use.
One way or the other.
Yes.
Having something to say. Every time a man say something,
It's not even worth it.
it'll kill it.
Yeah, I understand
We
that because I
can't
understand
do
that
it.
now.
We can't do it. Even if the men are a little bit abrasive, because I've been raised around manly men and they're not necessarily soft in what they say. The thing that you have to determine is whether or not what they're saying or how, not necessarily how the tone that they talking in, but whether or not their instruction or their criticism or whatever it is that they have is coming from a place of love and wanting to do better and for y'all to do better, or is it coming from a place of hatred and disdain for you? Because those two things are very different. My father, for example, my father was a kind of a hardcore man, a street dude. He didn't have a whole lot of soft words. So when he criticized us, when he had constructive criticism for us, a lot of times it was hard to hear it because he was so blunt. He was just so blunt. He just didn't have no sugarcoat at all.
See, but that's not the part. It's not even that. My grandmother, I was raised on blunt, direct to the point, and that's kind of why I'm kind of like that too. My grandmother's like that. It wasn't the fact that he would. It's not even his tone per se. It was when he would say things intentionally to hurt me. The thing that is what it was. If you know, if you know, because I share with him basically stuff, I'll be like, I told him like, why did I should have never told you that, because you bringing up things that you know will intentionally hurt me. Not, oh babe, I don't like it when you cook the beans like this, cook them like this instead. Nothing like that. Not that. It was stuff and we talking and you mad at me. So when you get mad, now that's why your daddy was in your life when you was little and he ain't come back till you was older. What the heck to do with what we talking about? Or, you know what I'm saying? Just, that's why. Like, what the heck to do with the fact we all need to be changed in the car? You know what I'm saying? Because the check engine light on or something. Like, it'd be stuff like that. It's not even relative. But just trying to.
And I get you. I understand you.
Like I said before, some men can be brutal with their mouths. Not all men have this capability, but there are some. And I think one of the biggest issue between the two of them is the communication aspect. One got a bigger mouth than the other, or that we are alleged want to understand. But nonetheless, to dissolve the marriage because one is winning arguments. I mean, to me, it doesn't really seem logic for grounds for divorce, in my opinion. And the reason why, because men have dealt with worse from mouths from you ladies. And sometimes they wish they can walk out of this bad boy, which some of them do. And some, depending where they are mentally, spiritually, and where they are in the pockets, they will just automatically not only walk out, but will sign those papers to get away from you, away from their lives. But like I said, this is something that she's asking and divulging what she's going through now to Crimson Cure for a sense of sympathy, and she will give you sympathy, but really she's going to bring you back to reality and give you that tough love because she is a woman nonetheless, and only a woman like her could really keep it and tell you the honest truth, ladies. You're not going to get this on Kendra G. Oops. Yeah, I had to say that. Kendra G, yes, another woman that sit there creating a dating show for all the ratchet modern women to be up there asking for a six-figure brother or man while they come in the pool of the dating pool with children, with baggage, and hell, a lot of bodies, if you know what I mean, in regards to being throat goats. And also, those ladies that be on that show, and y'all know what I'm about to play. Yes, I gotta do it. I have to do it. They're on that show because, let's be fair honest, they be on the carousel. Like literally. Like literally. Literally, they be on that carousel. Oh, you don't believe me? Let me run it for you again. They're on the carousel. They're on that show because they want to ride the carousel. And once they get tired, and which they will get tired, no matter how much they love to bounce on it, ride on it, at the end of the day, the carousel, ladies, and hear me well, listen to me, hear me well, will not pay your bills. But I guarantee it is a good way of getting your exercise on. And trust me, the theme song is nice. Let's do it again. I mean, come on. Who's going to deny that? One more time. Anyhow, let's continue. Fair use, fair use.
The reason why I guess gave you the advice that I just gave you was because I too am sensitive to verbal stuff. I endured verbal abuse my entire childhood, so I'm extremely sensitive to when somebody's saying something with a little tone, and it's like. So I'm giving you this advice from a person that's very sensitive to it, but that also had to learn some discernment about it as well. I'm giving you this advice to move forward with, not to look backwards with.
Yes.
Because you're going to be sensitive now to it. So any man now that comes to you and he has some critique, because different men have different methods of saying what they're saying and doing what they're doing. Some men are softer, some men are more blunt, whatever the case may be. Mm-hmm. What I'm trying to help you get to, and hopefully you'll get to it in time. You may not get this today. You might get it a year from now. Okay. But I'm going to give it to you today. And then I'm going to end the show.
Yes, ma'am.
But what I want to give to you is this. Sensitive or not, this is why I said have the discernment of where it is coming from when he talk to you. Because you may meet a man that check every box you need, right? Mm-hmm. But he might be blunt. You sensitive to that now, though.
Okay.
You're sensitive to that kind of critique and stuff like that. So you may take that in a way he don't mean to give it to you.
I understand what you're saying. Just because of my nerve, just because of my spidey senses might go off or something. And it's take it because of what I've experienced. I think a person may not mean it that way, but I may take it that way just from jumping the gun. I understand. Okay, I understand.
Because you're sensitive to stuff right now. I would not even be trying to date nobody right now if I was you. I know time is ticking, but that's the reality of things right now, right? You got two little ones. You're not even completely legally out of the marriage that you in. Correct. And at this point in time, getting to know another man or date another man or anything from another man, it's not a good idea.
Yeah, I felt that. I've thought about it. I felt it because I know
you just want the masculine energy around you, and that's perfect. That's normal, right? I'm not gonna train you for it. It's just not a good idea.
I agree with you. I've had with
And I'm a proponent of people should heal and take as much time as possible after when you start having children, because you need actual reflection. I think what in her case, because she's now in her late 30s, I think she's gonna turn 39 this year because now it's a new year. We're in 2029 and 2024. Yeah, she shouldn't be putting herself out here in this market. This market right now is very questionable, to be honest with y'all. And with her with kids, I mean, the last thing you want to do is be out here with your daughter and try and find a replacement boyfriend, which might be a husband, give or take. I mean, I don't know. I just don't know. I mean, it could have been worse. This dude could have been physically harming you, but there's really, from what she's been laying out, it don't seem like there was no physical harm during this relationship. The only thing that she didn't like is the verbal back and forth, even to the point where he's winning these arguments. So, like I said, yeah, she needs to stay away from the dating market for now. And meaning stay away, I mean, please don't deal with the dating apps. Don't talk to nobody right now. Try to do the little small works for now. Give yourself like a year most, or two, whatever it takes. Most a year or two before you decide to really go jump into a relationship, That will work. That I think that's helpful. I think that's wise advice that Crimson Secure is giving to her right now. Let's keep it simple. I think it's almost done. It's almost done. So let's listen more. Fair use.
my good friend, best friend, and I'm like, it's not like I said, it's not a good time. It's not. So my girl's still young. I still have legal stuff to deal with. It's just not like you said. It's not the right time, and I've told myself that. It's just
So
it is
so
what it
so
is.
the advice I've given you today, I recognize that you're in a vulnerable state emotionally. I advise you to come back every couple months and look at this clip and see, can you pick up what you need to pick up from it, and if you're ready to pick up certain stuff from it. I promise you, my questioning to you was not to put you on the spot or make you look bad or put the
I called
blame or
you.
none of that kind of stuff. This is what I do in counseling. I want everybody to understand that this is the line of questioning. Actually, this is a soft line of questioning. All right, I softballed her. And people that I've counseled can tell you this questioning is a lot different in a one-on-one phone call. But I just wanted to be able to give you my perspective as the outsider looking in without no other context than what you gave, to give you a little bit of insight as much as possible into why you're where you are today. Because if we don't do nothing else, we got to learn lessons, right?
Yes.
Or else we end up in the same cycle. And that's what people got to understand. People get stuck in cycles when they don't learn.
Correct.
So we have to learn whenever we get caught in any kind of cycle, whether that cycle make us happy or it hurts us, or especially when it hurts, to learn the lesson of that pain so that we can avoid that pain going forward. Now we may get another pain, but let it be different. We don't want to have
Most
the
definitely,
same
yes. Most
pain
definitely.
later on. You understand? But
Yes.
I'm glad that you came up. I'll thank you for your vulnerability, Miss Lee, and your willingness to talk to me at this point about something that's so sensitive to
Yeah.
you. So I thank you, sweetheart. I wish you the best. I'm gonna pray for you
Please
and
do.
your family, and I'm gonna bid you a good night, sweetheart.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, and thank you so much for all you do. I appreciate you. You have a good night.
All right, you too.
Now, a lot of people would expect, the Crimson Secure is going to go in and, use the sound bites, even use the Hyena, sound bites to a particular lady. But as y'all know, the Crimson Cure, she doesn't really go down like that. It takes a lot for any woman, and let's be clear here. Crimscure doesn't got that type of chick yet that will come into her channel and do that yet. But the more she does these call-in shows, you're gonna meet that one chick, if you know what I mean, that's gonna try Miss Crimson Cure. And I'm not gonna pray and hope that she knows what to do, because we know what she's gonna do if she come across those type of individuals. She was very light in regards to how she handled this lady on the call. And I'm hoping, like most people, you learn from a lot of these relationships. We should all learn anyway from a lot of relationships we're in anyway, personally. But that takes growth, that takes understanding of oneself, and it really takes real reflection of what one could do better. Now, in my opinion, I think she's going to probably be out in these streets again very soon. I don't think she's going to really take on the advice from how I'm looking at how she carries herself. I could be wrong. I could be wrong. But only time will tell. But who knows? Maybe she'll take what the advice Crimson Cure gave her and she'll follow up with a video. And maybe next end of this year, going next year, to see where she stands mentally, spiritually, and has it really worked, the advice that Crimson Cure gave her. But like I said, I really doubt most people learn. But well, I know, I'm just sitting back, being a spectator and getting my own take. But anyway, like I said, shout out to Crimson Cure. Very good live stream. I'm hoping that she'll do more of this. And like I said, I'll be here if any, reaction. But like always, guys, this is the first volume of, Crimson Cure versus the Hyenas. Volume 1. I hope you enjoyed this volume. Like always, if you're new to the channel, make sure you like, comment, subscribe to the channel. Links to follow me are follow me on Twitter at ChaosRain7. Add me a friend on Facebook, Eric Rain on Facebook. Join the Discord service of the Chaos Rain Show. Join and follow me on Rumble, CRain23 on Rumble, and become a member of the Chaos Rain Show. That is it. Make sure you leave a comment on your thoughts and feelings on this stream. And that is pretty much it. Until next time, guys, let chaos reign.